In this video, I'm going to show you how you can apply a gradient background to your Drypoint prints. I will also show you how you can create relief stamps and add them to your design. We will also use a silkscreen collagraph shape and chine collé for added texture. This is the print we'll end up with. Hope you enjoy the video.
So after playing with some ideas, I think I've got my design. I'm going to start with my Drypoint plate. The idea is I'm going to do a Drypoint plate with a general design. These are going to be relief marks, including these two. And this, I think, is going to be a chine collé. Yeah. And I'm going to do a gradation of colour, relief, roll over a Drypoint. So it will be a Drypoint with relief. And oh, actually, the bird is going to be an intaglio print. So a mixture of different printmaking techniques. Watch this space and hope you enjoy the video. So first of all, I've got this Drypoint sheet I bought at Intaglio printmaker's shop, and it's protected by a film and it's quite soft. I'm going to cut out 10 by 10. I could probably do it with scissors or clasp knife. It's soft enough to do that. So I'm going to draw my design. The Drypoint plate is a little bit smaller than design, but actually that doesn't bother me too much. I'm quite happy with the size, so I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to trace my design from the card here, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to Drypoint it on the other side to have the right image. And I'm just tracing it with a permanent marker, and you can use Sharpie or any other marker. Let's begin. Okay, I have got everything carved out, so all I need to do is I need to create my chine collé and my relief shapes for the detail. If you enjoy watching my videos and would like to help to support me to make more videos, you can do it in 3 ways. You can either like and subscribe, which is a great help already. You can become my channel member and get extra perks and extra content, as well as monthly meetups, by clicking on join button on my homepage of the channel, or you can do a super thanks on an individual video or donate to my channel. Thanks for watching. Here are my relief shapes. I'm just going to have to carve them out. Got my little Lino shapes. Now next, I'm going to cut out, and I made a video about this previously. It's a silkscreen shape, and here is a link to the video, and I'm going to use it from my previous video. So I've got my silkscreen shape here, and you make it by attaching to the double-sided sticky sheet, attaching silkscreen and then painting with acrylic paint on it. But there is a I go into the more detail of it in another video. So I'm going to use the one that I've already made to create my little bird shape. And the reason why I'm using this is because I want to have a kind of gradiated, interesting texture to it, which this will give me. This will give me sort of different textures. Luckily, it's a little bit see-through, so I can trace the shape through here. And just cutting the shape out. Okay, so the idea is that the design is this way and I'm going to print onto paper that way. So it is the right way round. So I'm now going to carve out my shape. It's going to be a little bit fiddly because it's really tiny. And I'm hoping I'm not going to injure myself while I'm doing this. Oh, liking this. So it's my little wing. Now let's do, so if I need to think about this now. I'm going to print onto paper like this. So I want it to be going that way, so I need to carve it that way. Right, we've got our little wings. And just got to carve out the other relief stamps. Right. Lastly, I need some chine collé papers for my belly, for the robin belly. I've got some rice paper, stained rice paper with acrylic ink, and it's got a smoother, rougher and a smoother side. So you want to glue smoother side down. And I've got my shape. I'm going to cut it out for my robin belly. So I'm going to start with raw amber, which is the colour of the darkest colour I'm using here on my plate. Once I have my ink on the plate, I'm just rubbing it in sort of in circular motions with a scrim to get as much ink in the grooves as possible. This round sort of motions is really helpful. Okay, so I've got my first layer. Now I'm going to polish the plate because I need it to be clean, as I'm going to ink up with a gradiated blue. So I need this plate to be quite clean now. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside now. And another thing that I'm going to ink up here is in the same colour, is the body of the robin, which I made on a silkscreen plate. Okay, that's ready now. And now I'm going to prepare the relief part of the dry point. So here I've got a rolled out ultramarine with white bit of sienna toned down. I'm using a big roller here. You don't need such a big one, but this one was handy, and also it would mean that I could just roll the ink all in one onto my little plate. The gradation was achieved by just rolling over and over with a roller. I'm using intaglio ink here. And as you can see, I'm just managing. You only need a thin layer, really. You don't need much ink. So yeah, I mean, it might be trial and error. I did have too much ink on my first go, so I knew through experience to put less ink on the roller. Okay, so I'm just placing a damp paper on the press, and I'm kind of doing it the wrong way round. I'm putting the plate on top of the paper. I'm doing this because I find it easier of registration. Now I'm adding the silkscreen collagraph. Newsprint, blankets down, and here we go. Looking great.
Okay, now I'm just adding some chine collé. I have decided just to glue it on here. Sometimes using a traditional method of chine collé when you've got such a small piece can be really tricky. So I actually, in this design, I have changed my design, as you will see later on. I have, instead of making a circular belly like this, I have made it semicircular. And then, of course, inking up my stamps. Again, I've changed the method. The sort of first one I did, I kind of stamped it. But then I've realized that actually just pressing it works just as well. I haven't used a press. It's a tiny little stamp. Actually, just doing it with pressure with your finger was absolutely enough. So it's a kind of relief stamp. As you can see, it worked really well. It doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, I guess it depends on your design. Mine is a little bit rustic, so it was sort of, you know, it didn't have to be perfect. If I wanted it to be perfect, I would have used a relief press for sure. But this seems to be enough. And yeah, I have done it unconventionally. I've done it sort of, you normally put the artwork on top, but I just needed more control. I needed to see it. And yeah, it worked out quite well, actually. Just a lot easier, I guess. Just using them as little stamps. So this was my final design, in fact. And as you can see, I've just made it, the belly of the robin, a little bit different from the very first run. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Combination of a relief, collagraph and monoprinting. Really fun card to make. Thanks for watching.